how's it going? So for those who don't know me, I am Miyoko. I'm a Japanese living in Japan, and right now it's 5 in the afternoon, so the lighting will probably change because the sun is going down. So today I'd like to talk about Hillary Clinton collapsing at the ceremony of 9/11 anniversary because it's been on the news here as well. I can't show you the TV programs because I don't know about the laws, you know, like the copyright issues, but look at this. This is Sankei Shimbun from today, and you see Hillary Clinton here. So this is basically saying that Clinton left due to pneumonia and also Trump. But Trump said that she's got no stamina or not enough stamina, and this article is as big as this. Yeah, and I have one more paper. This is mine because it's the most conservative one that I can find in Japan, and this one is Yomiuri Shimbun, kind of okay one that my dad takes, but it says that terrorism has spread to the world and talking about ISIS, and here you can see President Obama and then Hillary Clinton here, and like health issues. It will be, you know, controversial during the campaign and stuff. It says that she left because of the sickness. This gave a great contrast between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, but when I heard the news, I instantly thought of three things. The first thing I thought was like, oh, she collapsed. I knew it. I knew that it was gonna happen, and that's what I thought to myself. I'm pretty sure that some of you thought the same thing. Because, yeah, it was gonna happen at some point. And the second reaction that I had was that this is terrible when you think about the current world order due to the presence of the United States. And the third reaction was to realize that Democrats are not thinking about American citizens at all. So in this video, I am going to show you guys why I thought of those things and what's on my mind, you know, to back that up and stuff. So, okay, so let's get started. So Hillary's health problems, sorry, I'm like trying not to laugh because her name is so difficult to pronounce, but her health problems have been there for years, right? And also she's been aging, right? Because she's not an alien. She's supposed to be a human being, and she's 68 years old now. But the presidential campaign is really hardcore. Like, it's really energy consuming, and even Mr. Trump has lost his weight, I can tell, because he was a little round before, right? But now she's like kind of slim, getting slim there. But he looks healthy and all, so that's good. And of course, the job of President of the United States, especially in this complicated generation, requires so much stamina and so much hard work. And by the way, before I go on, I need to tell you that I do not believe what Hillary has is only pneumonia, because as I said, she's been having these problems for a long time now. And I think that what's convincing right now with the information we can get is the theory of her having Parkinson's disease, as you guys probably all know. So now back to what I was saying. So first of all, her staffs knew how to handle the situation when she collapsed at the ceremony, and they were not surprised, right? And there was a squeeze my finger neurological situation going on, and then Hillary went to her daughter's place, not hospital, as if it's part of their routine or something. And for this kind of perspective, I am going to recommend one video that I've already watched. I'm gonna link it below, so check it out. There's one good article as well, so I'm gonna link it too. So if you haven't seen this type of perspective, check them out, although you probably have. Also, I saw Hillary like way back, she coughed up some green or yellow, some weird stuff into her water bowl that she was about to drink, and it was so disgusting. It was during a speech too. It was a speech in Cleveland, I believe, and probably some kind of digestion problem, and she has showed up at an event in pajama-ish style too. I saw a picture. I'm not sure if that's Photoshop or not. I believe that it's real though, but yeah, I'm gonna link it below anyway. And I hear also that Huffington Post writer David Seaman was banned from why is this everything's hard to pronounce? Huffington Post after writing 2 articles about her health records there and got his paragraphs deleted. And Dr. Drew also, I have no idea who he is, but Dr. Drupinski also had to get off the CNN program named Drew on Call after he mentioned Hillary Clinton's health state. And also this kind of went viral for a while, but there's a medic who is always next to Hillary that holds a diazepam pen, this injection pen. I was so wrong. So there's this man who's always holding the pen, and I believe that he's a chief of a medical team. He has also appeared on stage to support her too, and during this campaign she seems to have had seizures, right, on stage next to her husband, and also at other situations, and or in front of the press. And also, I still have a list of things to say. 70% of doctors in the United States think that the impression about Hillary's condition is so serious that it could be disqualifying for the position of President of the United States. The mass media, baby! They are not telling you the truth. Why? Because Clinton has so much money. That's probably big part of the reason why, I think. Because, I mean, they have so much money. And they have also sold your resources, right? Uranium. They sold that to Russia, I believe. But the point that I'm trying to make is that they are trying to hide it. But anybody, even someone like myself in Japan, can clearly see that Hillary Clinton is definitely too sick to be the president of the United States, nor run for the presidential campaign. It has come to a point where it's impressive, like how does she do that, you know, like under that kind of condition. So it's, yeah. I'm so glad though that we have the internet, even though there's definitely the movement of banning certain things or certain movements overseas on social media, because it's all about sponsoring and marketing and stuff. Like, I can kind of understand why this kind of banning happens, but it's not fair. I mean, I don't know, like, people like genuine people and we like real information, so like the industry has to change the mind, I think. If you're wondering about Japan, I don't think that that kind of movement is here yet, or I don't think that it will happen for a while at least, because there's no social justice warriors in Japan because the conservatives have taken over the internet. Not leftists here, it's us that are conquering the internet, so that's great. Just look at my videos, like Japanese videos that are very political. I mean, you might not be able to tell the title and the content, but I have a good audience, you know, and they used to kind of hate on me. I mean, probably the same kind of people too, because I started to get interested in politics in 2012, and before that I was really dumb. Alright, that's kind of yoga, but not really. And I was still like asleep, right? And so I was kind of leaning towards liberalism, or kind of what you call leftist ideology. My videos were about daily vlogs, and I was dating an American guy, and also sometimes the topic was about political things, and the Japanese people came to see and they would bash me, or they would, you know, say mean things to me and stuff. Now they love me because I changed the political view. So I have mixed feelings, really. Like, why can't you just love me for the way I am? But it's all good. Everything has worked out. But anyway, so the conservative people here took over the internet because people were really angry at the Democratic Party that was in power. Like, they were the governmental party for 3 years, I believe. And so people were frustrated, you know, and they went to the internet and talked, and I guess the it created some kind of like a grassroots kind of movement. But the problem, of course, is that the social media here, the popular ones, of course, are like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on, or Instagram. So if the headquarters order something to the branches, things might happen, but for like so far so good. Even our prime minister is a conservative guy, and even though his political power is weak and he kind of looks like a liberal person now, but he is a conservative, and so when he resigns, I'm pretty sure that he will raise somebody conservative for his position. So I'm not too worried about Japan, like as for the internet situation. So that's good. Back to what I was saying. I was thinking to myself, like, why would Democrats want to take the risk and make Hillary Clinton president? The big part of the reason why I think is because, as I said, it's money, power, or probably just fame. But that leads to the conclusion of Democrats exposing the United States and the world to danger by picking such a fiscally untrusted person even as a candidate, don't you think? I have to say that the world knows that the power of the United States is unfortunately declining thanks to Obama and Hillary Clinton, and the world order is quickly changing, which is very dangerous. But Hillary Clinton collapsed at the ceremony of 9/11 anniversary. If I was a terrorist against the United States, I would have even laughed or grinned looking at Hillary Clinton, because a presidential candidate collapsing like that on that special day is very ironically symbolic. And plus, now the presidential campaign can get disastrous depending on how the Democratic Party handles this. And other countries and terrorists will be all watching the movements inside of the United States from the outside, and they will, or we will, build our strategies along with them. As for Japan, we're America's ally. Plus, because North Korea is out of hand, like out of control, we see the news of the United States military protecting us for that. So Hillary Clinton's case is, even though it gets on the the newspaper or on TV, it's treated like kind of like whatever. So it's good for us, but I want American people to keep in mind that if your presidential campaign gets disastrous, then terrorists or nations like China will probably take it as a chance, because you will be sending such a message, that you guys are now like kind of out of control and stuff. It really depends on what's gonna happen from now on, but I just want you to watch out like extra. I'm Japanese, I'm kind of powerless when it comes to America, and it might be none of my business, but America has a lot to do with our country. And so that makes me want to ask you, why doesn't anybody from the Democratic Party try to stop Hillary? Like, what I mean is, of course she has money and all that, but like, what I mean is, couldn't they tell that this was gonna happen? Or money was too strong? I'm not talking only about politicians, I'm also talking about the citizens that have been supporting Hillary Clinton. Like, I don't know, like, if I was American who is a supporter of Clinton, then I would be kind of worried, like she might not make it. So I don't know. I just don't know. What I know is that the world is watching America in this information generation, and that's the point of me in Japan talking about this. At the beginning, I was talking a lot about what happened and stuff because I want you guys to realize that people in the world are very familiar with what's going on, like in details. Now let me talk about the 3 worst scenarios I have in my head. Of course, I'm Japanese, so I'm gonna think from the Japanese perspective, but the worst case scenario for us, I think, is that Hillary wins, then resigns due to the health problems, and then the vice president becomes president, and my country will have no strategy, no connections whatsoever to the new president. That's really terrible. but that could happen. The second worst case scenario is Hillary getting better, but I don't think that it's gonna happen. Plus, I don't want that to happen. It's kind of evil of me to say that, I guess, but Hillary might be a liar, but I don't want to be a liar, so I'm just being authentic, I'm just being honest. So you guys know that I support Donald Trump, and there are many reasons why I support him, but I will be frank with you now, because I have to. One of the fundamental reasons why I support him is because we don't want Hillary Clinton as President of the United States. Japan doesn't want Hillary Clinton. We don't. Conservatives in Japan are saying that Trump will be difficult for us too. You know, we see him as a good leader, but like we are different countries, so of course we're gonna have a hard time. But Hillary would bring hell to us. That's what the conservatives are saying here. The third worst case scenario, I think, is that Hillary Clinton being replaced by another candidate that we have no idea of. But that would be such a process, you know, like it's gonna be so hard to convince all the Democrats, including those who are against establishment or those who supported Bernie Sanders and stuff. So, yeah, I don't think that they can unite everybody there, you know? But those are worst case scenarios, and that's not gonna happen. You know why? Because Trump senpai will win! And I'm a little worried, you know, but I'm really grateful that Donald Trump is still there running. So there are many things that I love and respect about Donald Trump, but the big part is his presentation, you know, his looks, his attitudes, and his words. I'd say that they are all like the total opposite of Hillary Clinton and way, way better than her. I mean, just look at him, he is freaking orange! Just kidding. But it's true, like he looks healthy and he's always energetic. Like remember when he used to call Jeb Bush low energy? That feels like a long time ago. But yeah, he can keep talking and talking without stopping because I know that I can tell that he's the kind of person who can think while speaking, you know, moving his mouth. Like he's kind of earning the time by speaking and stuff. And also I noticed that he always stands and sits very straight, you know, like a buff kind of thing. And also he's got this very clear, kind of loud voice, which I like. I suppose that he got that through his TV career, because if you watch the footage of him from 3 decades ago, he sounds so much different. Like it's kind of like a modest, kind of whispering, sexy type, you know, and I like that too, but I mean, yeah, but he now states clearly and stuff, and that's, I think as a leader is very important, and that's just good to see. And I am a musician, you know, even though I haven't made music in so long, but I am very sensitive to sounds, and his voice is just so good to hear. I derailed a little bit. I could list many others, but what I'm trying to say is that he is very down-to-earth, confident, and very strong, you know, and he's, you can tell that he can make deals, you know, of course through his career as well, but just look at him and see how he behaves and stuff and how he talks, we can tell, even like a Japanese like myself can tell, that he's not like racist or anything like all the media or the leftists are saying. And yeah, he is a type of the person that America needs, definitely not Hillary Clinton, definitely no. The United States might not be the police of the world anymore, but definitely a leader. So yeah, so these are the thoughts that were behind my thoughts that I introduced at the beginning of this video. But honestly, I don't know what to think about Hillary collapsing, because things like this I don't think has ever happened. Has it? I'm just not familiar with it, so I don't know what to think. So I'd like to ask, what do you guys think about this? What does this mean to you and your country? Let's not forget about our common threads that are watching about this situation. I thought that Hillary for prison 2016, but it might be just Hillary for hospital 2016. I'm a bad person to make this joke, but you know what? we suffered a lot from Clinton, so. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, please take care wherever you are, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye!